At the current time of this recording, there's basically 11 minutes left in this game between the Chiefs and the Raiders. And coming into this game, I really had no inkling of a doubt that the Chiefs are going to win this game, and probably by double digits and probably in a dominant fashion. What I didn't expect was for it to be such a dominant win that Mahomes was pulled before the end of the third quarter. The basically entire Chiefs backups are in at this point. Um, and they're still, I wouldn't say they're dominating the Raiders, but they're still basically performing as good, if not better, than the Raiders starters. Now, there's a few ways to talk about the Raiders at this point in the season. You can say, well, they have 2 wins against solid teams. You look at Pete Carroll teams the year that he starts. It takes a little bit of time before it really becomes that star-studded group that's winning games, that's running the ball well, passing efficiently, all of that stuff. And that's great to say. But you also can say, I don't know, this team, they look pretty bad. You look at their drives, I think they, at this point, are still under 100 yards total. The Chiefs, before they pulled their starters, had scored on all 5 of their drives, including 4 straight touchdown drives between the first and second half. And I know Max Crosby went out with an injury in the first half, but I don't think that was a trajectory changer for this game. I think it was just, it's a tough day, and it was an insult to injury, literally, for this Raiders team. I think at this point, it's hard for me to really be on any sort of bandwagon with the Raiders going forward in any aspect, in terms of how this coaching staff is put together, with Pete Carroll at the top, Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. Offensively, they have been terrible. I mean, Geno Smith, this experiment with him as the starting quarterback for this franchise, it has utterly and completely failed. There's been no semblance of anything at a professional level from this offense. They haven't been able to run the ball properly. They haven't been able to pass the ball efficiently. Geno Smith hasn't killed the Raiders with turnovers in today's game, but what he's done is it's just been a slow, just, it's been an inept offense. And it's tough from all aspects because you have young playmakers that you want to involve, like Ashton Genty that you drafted 6th overall in this year's draft, or Dante Thornton or Jack Besh that you used early day 2 picks on. Or you have Trey Tucker, or you have Jacoby Myers is hurt today and not playing, but you have Jacoby Myers when he's healthy. And the offensive line has been terrible. I mean, that's easily, if you want to say like one pinpoint reason why the Chiefs have been terrible, before you get to Geno, before you get to Pete Carroll, you do have to bring up that this offensive line has been terrible. But even with that being said, I still kind of blame that on the Raiders. I blame that on the fact that they signed Alex Kappa to basically kick off their free agency last year, when I think there was memes going around about Alex Kappa that he won the Triple Crown as an offensive lineman, something like the worst offensive lineman rated by PFF in the run game, in the pass game, and he had allowed the most sacks in the NFL last year. Like, I think that was a meme about Alex Kappa. But that was like the first guy that they signed. And I have to think Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly as the 2 probably biggest voices in the offensive room. I have to think that they had some sort of thought process about that. At the end of the day, this current iteration of the Raiders team as a whole, and the defense has been bad too, but I think it's really the offense that has been such a glaring issue. Something needs to change. I'm not going to flat out say Pete Carroll needs to be fired right now, or that, just throw Aiden O'Connell in, or whoever the backup is. It might be Cam Miller. I think Aiden O'Connell might be injured. Whoever the backup is, it's time to start seeing something else. Because Geno Smith, even if he hasn't been turning the ball over today, he's been wildly inefficient and inaccurate. And that's not a new quality. That's not anything new. And that's where it kind of does devolve into a conversation about the guy at the top and Pete Carroll, because this was Pete Carroll's guy. I have to assume that at the beginning of this year, before the Raiders traded for Geno Smith, I have to believe that there was a major conversation had between Pete Carroll, between the general manager of the Raiders and the ownership and the front office staff. I have to believe that he wanted Geno Smith badly to be on this team. And for a reason like that, I would say it's probably time to go for Pete Carroll. And probably time to go for Chip Kelly. Probably time to go for a lot of this offensive staff. If you're a Raiders fan and you disagree with this video, please let me know what I'm getting wrong when talking about the Raiders. If you think I'm right, please let me know any other little tidbits or fun facts going on with this current season and really the recent history of the Raiders in general. I'll probably have another video later today about, I believe it's the Cowboys game that's going to be coming up soon. And that's a pretty good game coming up, Cowboys and the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is without his top 3 options. And it's pretty much going to be maybe like the Luke McCaffrey and Zach Ertz show. So I'm a little bit interested to see how that goes for the Commanders against the Cowboys. If you want me to make another video about your favorite team, if you're not a Raiders, Chiefs, Commanders, or Cowboys fan, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.